It's time now for Spears on Sports with John Spears, presented by M&M Carnage. And now, here's Johnny.
Who? Tony, what day is it, Scoot?
It's your job to know that.
I'm lost. Today's February 15th. It's Thursday.
January 15th.
Did I say what I say, February?
Yeah.
I told you I always get them wrong, so that's why I don't normally sit on this side. I just answer questions. I don't have to talk. No, but it's Thursday, January 15th. John is in Nashville. He drove down there for the Bellarmine-Lipscomb game tonight. Did not go with the team because we were doing a St. X basketball game last night in the LIT. It was an excellent one. The Tigers win 62-60. Ballard controlled the game most of the game. They came out and were very hot at the beginning of the game. Cole Edlin had, I think, 10 of the first 12 points for Ballard. And St. X got behind. They were down 9 points with 4 minutes left in the game. And made a great comeback, got some steals, some dunks. And they're victorious over a Ballard team that they did the same thing to last year in the LIT. They had to beat them on a Jeremiah Jackson shot at the end of the game. So the Tigers get 20 points from Jeremiah Jackson. They get 10 rebounds from their point guard, Chief Cameron. And Jordan Jackson, sophomore, had 13 and 8. But Ballard, Scooter, only scored 2 points in the last 4 minutes and 3 seconds, and they were 2 free throws.
That's not a recipe to win a lot of games.
No, they shut Cole Edlin down after that. The former male 4-year starter transferred to a prep school in North Carolina, came back to Ballard. You were surprised when found out that he was at Ballard. He came out hot to start the game and only scored 14 points in the game after scoring 10 early because Jeremiah Jackson guarded him late in the game and shut him down. Tigers are victorious. They will move on to Friday night, which we will do here. I'm not sure if it's on the Big X or one of them. We'll give you that tomorrow, but we will be on the air. The winner tonight of South Odom and Male. Male was the 6th seed in the tournament by however they do the ratings. They were the number 1 team till they lost to J-Town. Them and St. X have flip-flopped, so there's a chance St. X and Male could play tomorrow night for the second time, possibly 5 times this year. But
that's crazy.
John and I had a great one last night out at Valley, and the game before it, J-Town was victorious over Butler. So if you get an opportunity to come out to the LIT, come out. If not, look up John, me, Big X, whatever on Twitter, or go to stx.com and you'll be able to listen to the game with the live call. John will be back Friday night, and I will be with him. So got all that out of the way. Scooter, it's a Thursday, man. I'm excited to be here.
Thursday night football. Oh, wait.
Oh, man, no. I was going to say, did I miss one? No. No, Thursday, it is weird, actually, that there is no Thursday night football. There's not any. There's only one top 25 game, and that's Gonzaga tonight against Washington State at Washington State. The number 9, I believe, Zags from Gonzaga are a big favorite in that game. But let's do a little housekeeping here. First of all, the M&M Cartage hotline. You can call in at 502-384-1450. I get that right, Scoot?
Yep.
Boy, I butchered it last time.
Nailed it.
Gameday Men's Health text line is open. That is 502-414-1450. Gameday Men's Health is refining men's wellness. No shortcuts, just results, testosterone, peptides, weight loss, and sexual performance therapy. Visit GameDayMen'sHealth.com, defining a new era in men's health. Give me an applause.
I mean, that was a 10 out of 10.
Oh, man, I killed it, Scoot. I killed it. Let's go to some other business here. I was at the St. X game last night, so I recorded the Kentucky game. Told John during the game, John was looking at it, don't tell me unless, something comes up.
You wanted to avoid spoilies.
I can go home, watch the game. I've been doing the radio broadcast of the St. X game. I'll have no idea. So I get home, probably a little before 10. My wife's in there. I go, don't tell me. I have no idea what happened. So she goes, okay. So she gets up and goes to bed. I go downstairs. I turn on the game, and I was so disgusted with Kentucky, Scooter. I got 2 pages. I charted the game because it just was like, can you believe this? First thing I wrote down was Kentucky Zoom offense sucks.
Good start.
And if you know what the Zoom offense is, it's give it to the big guy, dribble, handoff, cut off of him. Louisville does a much better job of back cutting than Kentucky does. And I was like, they got to throw this damn thing out the window. I mean, I've run the Zoom offense. It's a good offense, but all the teams are. And if you watch the Kentucky game, all teams are doing now are stepping out and switching and bumping them. So Kentucky, early in the game, the shot clock was running down on them. And it's like, you don't play that slow. But LSU was just punking them around. So next thing I wrote down was 16-3, 10-0 run, 12-15 left in the game. I'm like, Kentucky even score? Did you watch the whole game, Steve?
I did, yeah. And that was, that's now back-to-back just horrible starts for this team. That one last night was inexcusable. But, yeah, admittedly, I sat down and watched the entire thing.
You know when Kentucky made their first field goal? How much time? 8:52. That was the first
into the game
field goal. Yes. No, 8:52
left on the clock.
Yes, in the first half.
I didn't realize
that was their first made first made field goal. They were down 19-5 and 19-6, and then Yelich hit a 3-pointer to make it 19-9. That was at 8:33. So that was the second one. They had one before it, but I wrote this down. 22 points at halftime. 38-22. 22 points. Kentucky shot 37% in the first half, and LSU shot 48. You know how many assists Kentucky had in the first half?
2.
Yes.
Michael Bennett put it pretty nicely on his show prior to this. He said at first half, that's $1 million a point. Pretty good.
Oh, man. And and then you start the second half, and it's the largest LSU lead over Kentucky in 30 years to start the second half. I mean, just kind of crazy stuff. But Kentucky scores 5 points in the first 2 minutes of the second half. And Moreno gets his fourth foul with 17:54. This is how bad I was last night, sitting in a room by myself writing all this stuff down because I was like, what are they going to do with Mark Pope? I mean, at that point, didn't you think, wow, this is really, really getting bad for Mark Pope?
For sure, yeah. No, I didn't. Truthfully, I didn't see a way back for Kentucky.
No, and the more I wrote down here, Kentucky took their first lead of the game with 3:53 on the Cam Williams steal and a dunk. That was the first lead of the game. So they went 16 minutes being behind and looking like they had no chance, especially in the first half.
Mm-hmm.
So they move on, and I won't go through all the other stuff, but a couple missed free throws and
big one by Ortega.
Yeah, you keep thinking Kentucky has their chance. Owe misses that free throw, and then you go, wow. And then they go down, and then the inbounds play, Scoot. I mean, you look like you had something to say there before that.
I was just going to say the 2 free throws for Ortega were night and day, right? I mean, the first one, he steps up, he looks confident, he takes a deep breath, he fires it up there, it hits nothing but nylon. And then the second one, it was just like he was feeling the pressure, and he just rushed it. Didn't take the deep breath, didn't look confident at all, and it ended up being a terrible free throw.
Yeah,
that's one he's got to make.
When McKinnon went up there, he's a 93% foul shooter. They called the foul down there, and he just walked up and swished them both.
Yeah.
I mean, it looked like nothing there. And then, yeah, when Owe misses that one, it looks like, well, Kentucky's dead. But then LSU misses. They call timeout. And they said Moreno said after the game that pass was supposed to be to Owe.
Which doesn't make any sense. If you go back and rewatch it, doesn't make sense.
Yeah. I mean, the thing that worked for Kentucky was he's 7'1".
Mm-hmm.
And he could reach up over the LSU player who jumped with him and caught the ball. And, boy, I tell you what, he's taken shots from the perimeter. He's made a few here and there. But that was as confident of looking shot, not because it went in. The way he turned and shot it,
yep.
It looked like he'd done it a million times.
Yep.
And how Kentucky got out of there with a 75-74 victory is beyond me and I think anybody else.
Well, and something else that I haven't really heard a lot of people talk about is does Malachi, is he able to get that shot off if the LSU defender even gets a fingertip on that when he jumped up to try to knock it away?
Yeah, and you think
because the clock would start. I don't know if there would be enough time at that juncture.
Yeah, anything that knocks that off a line makes it almost impossible. And, I know the Kentucky fans, first thing came to their mind were, Christian Laettner, hitting that shot. Of course, they showed it on SportsCenter.
Oh, did they?
When they talked about it. But Moreno did say in the interview afterwards, which I thought was pretty awesome, he says, you grow up doing that in your backyard.
For sure.
And you always wanted to do it. And he goes, I got to relive it. And I thought that was pretty cool. But
that was the first game-winning buzzer beater for Kentucky since?
I'm drawing a blank. Total blank.
2004. 22 years since they've had a game winner buzzer beater. That's crazy.
Wow, was
Eric Daniels
okay
over?
I actually remember. He
can't remember who they were playing.
Called it and put it up. I remember. He's a left-hander, Eric Davis. Number 14. Just a few things about the LSU-Kentucky rivalry. 1990, on February 15th, Kentucky beat Shaq and Chris Jackson 100-95. Chris Jackson, who was Abdul, whatever, the guard. I don't know which Abdul he was, but everybody that knows who Chris Jackson is, played in the NBA, had 41. Shaq had 21 rebounds in that game, and Kentucky won that game at Rupp. And they went over all kinds of tidbits that I saw afterwards. Owe becomes first Kentucky player to score 20 points in his first 4 SEC games of the season. Kentucky women beat LSU at LSU on a game winner by Tony Morgan to beat LSU, who was number 5 in the country at the time, at LSU on a buzzer beater. So the men and the women both beat LSU at LSU on buzzer beaters.
That has to be the only time in school history that's happened.
Oh,
right?
It's almost got to be impossible.
Yeah.
1996, Kentucky scored 86 points at a half and scored 129 points on that national championship team against LSU.
86 and a half?
Yes, they had 129 for the game. 1996.
What the hell happened in that second half?
Yeah, they only scored 43, huh?
Bums.
And on the same day, on February 15th, was the Mardi Gras Miracle, was the same as the 100 they put on Chris Jackson and Shaq. Mardi Gras Miracle, February 15th, Kentucky comes back from 31 points on Fat Tuesday, down 68-37 with 15 minutes and 30 seconds left in the game. Walter McCarty's three-pointer. It's the largest second-half comeback in college history. I sat there and watched. I'm going to tell you a quick story about that game. I lived by myself. I was dating my wife and her friend, Kentucky fans. I worked at 11 o'clock at night, so I would set my alarm for 10:30 in case I fell asleep. Night work for years and years. And Kentucky was playing LSU that night, and I was watching the game, getting ready to go to work, hung in there to the end, call my future wife and her roommate and go, can you believe Kentucky just came back from 31 points? And she said, we went to bed a long time ago. She just woke me up. So I sat there and saw that one. LSU a little bit snake bit there. They needed a win in conference. Well, Kentucky needed one too, but LSU falls to 0-4 in conference, and Kentucky gets their second win in conference. What looked like that. Oh my gosh, the call-in shows and everything.
Oh, they were electric.
And I saw what you put on Twitter this morning. A Kentucky fan just upset still at Pope.
Oh yeah.
And
they were upset with me because I said Pope doesn't have it.
Oh, I thought they were still giving him hell because they had to win the game at LSU the way they won the game. But they scored 53 points in the second half after scoring 22. Aberdeen was great in the second half. He had 17 points just in the second half. Owe ends up with 21 points. Moreno, who only played like 8 minutes in the second half, 10 points and 8 rebounds, but that shot was the big one. And Yelovich, who started last night, logged a lot of minutes, got 11 rebounds, played ahead of Mo Diabate. Diabate didn't play a lot last night.
Something's going on there.
I don't know, man. Yeah, there's got to be something. I don't know. Maybe he just thought we needed to change things. And the way we're doing things right now, Diabate does a really nice job of rebounding and defending, but he's just not a scorer. He's got to score from 3, 4, 5 feet around the basket for him to be effective. But they said Owe was sick last night at the beginning of the game.
That, yeah.
So sometimes you play really well, of when you're six, but Kentucky gets out of Baton Rouge with that victory. And, if you're a Kentucky fan, you're thinking, what are we going to do without, Jalen Lowe? Is Pointon's going to play? There's a lot of things going on, but you got to figure it out, and at least
You do have to go without him for an extended period of time or potentially the rest of the season. That makes things really tough. But also, on the flip side of that, it kind of, in a weird way, I think would give the team confidence because you would no longer have to worry about those guys. I mean, the Jalen Lowe thing was borderline exhausting. Like, is he going to play or is he not going to play? And the players definitely worry about that, and they hear all the outside noise. Well, now you don't have to hear that with Jalen Lowe. So maybe it brings them together. They realize that, hey, it's just us now. There's nobody else coming in. We've got to find a way to figure this out. If you can find a way to somehow just go 500 in SEC play, I think you're in the tournament.
Yeah, and get a decent win here or there.
Exactly.
Get something. But that would have killed them last night.
No doubt.
That LSU loss would have been catastrophic, in the conference and maybe for the tournament. And it's still going to be close to a bubble team of Kentucky unless they really put it together. But the one thing, and you made a good point there, is it makes you define your roles a little better.
Exactly.
And when you define your roles, sometimes that helps. You don't worry about egos. You only have so many guys to play. But I call him Omar Moreno, center fielder for the Pirates. That's just a huge play to hit that game winner. And probably the most likely guy on the floor to hit a jump shot from about 17 feet.
That's definitely fair.
So Cats get out of there once again. And, since we used that whole section on St. X and on UK, let's go ahead and take the first break, Scoot. You're listening to the Big X. on Ball with Scooter and Tony. No John Spears. No Spears on Sports today. It's Spears not on Sports. Nashville, Tennessee. He drove down to Lipscomb College for the Bellarmine game tonight. He'll be on the air on 680 with Mark Bugg.
I'm a little confused at the timeline here, Tony. What time's that game?
8 o'clock here, 7 o'clock down there.
Okay, so he drove down last night, right?
No, early this morning. He wanted to get there for shoot-around.
Well, why you got to be there for shoot-around? If the game's not till 8 o'clock, it takes 3 hours to get to Nashville. He should have had his priorities in line and been here doing a show. Still been there about 2 o'clock.
I'm not going to disagree with you, Scooter. He's soft. I mean, he's a soft.
Soft.
But I will give him credit. That's a long ride by yourself back and forth in one day, especially at night driving back. And you'll learn this, Scooter. Well, you're 36?
Yep.
Flip it around to 63. Man, it gets rougher and rougher.
I'll be lucky if I can
man.
flip it around.
But, yeah, John's down there. Bellarmine, 6-10, plays Lipscomb, one of the favorites in A-Sun. They're 10-7 down there at 8 o'clock tonight. That's you can listen to John, or you can go to ESPN Plus and watch that game. Lipscomb, 8.5-point favorite. Give me something.
Feels like too many.
Yeah, feels like too many.
Bellarmine's been playing well.
They have. Just got to find a way sometimes to find a way to win. So I've been over and watched Bellarmine play. They just got to learn how to win, and I think things will turn around in the A-Sun for them. I just feel like they're going to do well. I know they're going to do better, but they should be much better now. I always talk to John about it. Great bunch of kids he talks about. They have good size, some pretty good shooters, and Jack Karasinski and Gooden have really stepped up.
Gooden surprises me.
You know, the most
he's been so good.
The most impressive part about him, Scooter, is he's really turned into a good shooter from the 3-point line. And I think he's a really smart kid from out there at Collins. Actually went to grade school here in CSAA here in Louisville at St. Rayfield down the street. But he's a very solid player. You get it. You know what you're getting out of him, and he's kind of the straw that stirs that team for Bellarmine. But yeah, 8 o'clock tonight. John Harbaugh, we got to go there, right?
Yeah.
Thoughts?
Good hire by the Giants. I mean, I'm still of the mindset that I don't know that he should have been let go by Baltimore, but that's their decision to make, and they made it. So I still think John Harbaugh's just got several really, really good years, and that's a good pickup by the Giants. They got a young nucleus of players. We've talked about it. I mean, whether it's Jackson Dart or Cam Scadaboo, I think that's a really good landing spot for Harbaugh.
Yeah, he's 63 years old, 18 seasons with the Ravens, and the Giants the last 2 years are 7-27. But don't you feel like they were better than that? They had games where they should have won. They just blew in the fourth quarter.
Yeah.
And then Dart was banged up some, and when they lost Scadaboo.
Well, normally when you think of the New York Giants, you think about them just getting killed every game. I mean, very similar to the Jets. But you're right. The Giants, at least this season, they were pretty competitive in majority of their games.
Yeah, he was supposed to interview with the Titans today, and I don't think he's going to do that. He interviewed with the Falcons, and we were talking the other night, and just because I brought up the Falcons, you and me both thought the Falcons were going to be good this year.
Yeah.
And I don't know what it is down there. They should be able to turn things around, and Harbaugh would have been a good guy for the Falcons. But the Giants, I agree with you. I think they get a steal getting John Harbaugh and his experience, and I just think he's a good fit up there in New York City. But you got to win in New York, don't you?
It's weird how much slower the NFL coaching carousel goes than like a college coaching carousel, right? I mean,
yeah.
Like this time, a week or whatever in on the college carousel, if there were 8 jobs open, there'd be, 1 or 2 at this point? Everything would have already been filled, but NFL teams are really taking their time vetting these guys, trying to figure out who's the smartest guy to bring in, and hats off to them for going through that process.
Yeah, and some of these teams probably need to get moving in the right way, but do you go with a coordinator? Do you go with your recycled coach? Like we said, Jacksonville hit it big with Liam Cohen.
Yep.
But you've got other guys that have been fired after 2-3 years that were coordinators. So, as John puts it, NFL always in the news, and John Harbaugh made that come up. Staying with football, but not in the NFL, transfer portal moved and shortened. That's about time, Scooter.
Yeah, no doubt.
I mean, day after the title game. You had to wait to the title game to open up the transfer portal because it just gets ridiculous. When you see a team like Oregon have 2 running backs that they need because they're down running backs, and one of the guys, he leaves. He would have been starting, and he leaves when he has a chance to win a national championship. I know, as you put it, Indiana, killed him. But, I mean, that's why you're supposed to be playing, to win championships, right?
Yeah, no doubt. Well, and then you got situations like the whole quarterback situation where Raiola comes in as the number 1 quarterback in the transfer portal, and then Dante Moore comes out yesterday and says, I think I'm actually going to come back to Oregon.
Yeah.
So now Raiola's in a spot where he's got a red shirt and sit behind Dante Moore for a year.
Dante Moore is the second guy on Mel Kiper's list, and he's coming back. That just shows you
Crazy
how much money is on the table for these college players. There's no way a guy that's going to be drafted in the first round doesn't go any time besides this day and age.
As the number 2 pick, you're getting almost $50 million guaranteed. It's crazy.
It is. Your offensive coordinator, your coach leaves, go to be the head coach at Kentucky. You're going to be a top pick, and you come back. It's just baffling.
Honestly, it's a smart move for him. He's had 20 starts. I mean, he could definitely use another season to try to get himself in better shape going into the NFL. Not in terms of his body, but more so in terms of his mind.
Well, what happens if he has a bad year?
That's good.
And
point.
he doesn't look good.
That's good. I mean,
you can lose draft stock in a hurry, man.
That's the risk you take.
Yeah. So I mean, when Cal used to always say that, or Bertino, one or the other. When you're going to be drafted in a lottery, I'm just throwing basketball at the football one. You have to go because of the money. I mean, you might not get that chance if you come back. You might get hurt, even if you got an insurance policy. All that stuff. There's a lot on the line when you come back. And I was just going to get the Dante Moore. And the transfer portal goes to 15 days instead of 30 days. So they pack it in more where there's just going to be all kinds of movement and be interesting. Who has the most money is going to get the best players. We talk about that, and that's just the world we live in now. So, we spend way too much time talking about transfers and NIL, but that's the world we live in. And that's not going to change, is it, Scoot?
Nope.
College basketball last night. We had some teams get beat, Scooter.
We did.
Vanderbilt, number 10 in the country, undefeated coming in. Texas Longhorns.
It was I was thinking this last night. It was a bad night for you and John to be on the call for St. X. I mean, college basketball last night was electric.
Oh, man.
Even that Purdue-Iowa game was awesome.
Yeah, I wrote down these games. How many undefeated teams now, Scoot?
Ooh, 4?
3.
3? Okay.
3.
Arizona, Miami, Ohio.
And I saw 3 across the bottom of the television. I don't have it in front of me.
I'll look it up. Can't think of the third one. Who that would be?
Nebraska.
Yeah. How could I forget?
With your IU hat on.
How could I forget?
Also, North Carolina goes out to the West Coast. What happened when Louisville went out to play Stanford out at Stanford?
Are they good? Is Stanford good?
I watched them play Louisville. The Okori, the freshman, is really good. He put up, I wrote this down somewhere, 36 last night on North Carolina. He put a bunch up against Kentucky. Big guy underneath. He's kind of a nasty kind of brute guy, but you go out to the West Coast, you play a late game, and you go down. Number 14, North Carolina loses 95-90 late last night. Now, on the other side of that, Duke went out to the West Coast, too, to play Cal, who's not quite as good. Duke wins 71-56. They outscored Cal in the paint 42-16. Went a lot of games that way when you score 42 points in the paint and they get 16.
Well, when you have one of the best players in the country, it makes it easy.
Yeah, it really is. You talked about Purdue. Number 5 Purdue beats Iowa 79-72. Did you watch some of that game?
Yep, told you 10.5 was way too many.
Yeah, you did. You did say that. Purdue, and be biased here. What do you think about Purdue down the road? Not just because you poll against Purdue.
I mean, it's wash, rinse, repeat, right? It's the same as every year under Matt Painter. Like, they're good. They're one of the top teams in the country, no doubt about it. But when we get into the tournament, NCAA tournament's really, really hard to win. And until I see Purdue do it, I am of the mindset they will never win a championship.
Yeah, Painter does a really good job, but there's something about the play in the tournament that I don't know. They just don't seem. It's not that he's lost; he has all kinds of experience, but they just can't seem to get over the hump. But
it's not a Purdue issue in my mind. It's a Big Ten issue.
You think so, really?
Yeah. I mean, you haven't seen the Big Ten win a championship since 2000. Why is that? Because when they're officiated a certain way in conference play, and you go into the tournament and you're officiated completely differently by all these other conferences officials.
Yeah, but don't you think they get up and down more than they used to? It used to be more physical in the Big Ten.
Yeah.
It's not quite as physical. Man, we had some buzzer beaters, and number 21, Georgia, goes down in overtime. Did you see the end of that one, the Ole Miss game, 97-95?
You can't give them 3 shots at it.
Oh, gosh.
You just can't.
You know, I know you tell them to block out, you get a body on somebody, but what's the first instinct late in the game when somebody takes a shot? I'm going to go get the rebound. And the ball comes off hard. They get the rebound. Ole Miss puts it back in at Georgia. And just unbelievable way to end that one. We had another buzzer beater. Did you see the SMU Virginia Tech one?
That was the best one.
Oh, my God.
And the fact that it was Boopy Miller, who one of the best names, if not the best name in college basketball. I love Boopy.
Hits a 3 from half court to win the game. I mean, it was crazy last night in college basketball, like you said. So some great, game winners, buzzer beaters, however you want to put that. And great night tonight. We just don't have a whole lot of sports going on.
Might be a Netflix night.
Yeah. I you know what? Have you watched the final finale of Stranger Things?
Not yet.
You know what? The wife, I'm going to tell the wife, I think tonight's the night we're going to sit down. I don't have a ball game. I had a St. X game last night. I went to the U of L game the night before.
Let me ask you this. Why haven't you watched it yet?
Timing.
Because it's like 2.5 hours, right?
Right. And, I mean, you can watch half of it and then watch half of it the next night.
No, you can't.
Well,
if you can do that, kudos to you. I can't.
My wife, it's her tax season, corporate tax season, so she's working a lot of hours. I've been at a U of L basketball game. I'm doing a radio game. I'm doing a radio game Friday night. If they win, I'm doing a radio game Saturday. So maybe I'll fix dinner and we can sit down and watch because she's working a ton. And hopefully that the next year or so she's not working at all.
What is Tony Burke's special with dinner? I got to know.
Tony Burke's special with dinner.
If you're making dinner, what's your go-to?
I'm more of a griller.
Okay.
Monday night, I did make spaghetti and garlic bread. I made that. So I would prefer to take her to dinner tonight, so if there's nothing that has to be done. I might do something with chicken. I actually thought about doing, just something, like that, some type of casserole or something.
Okay.
I'm a
got a wide range.
Chicken parm is what I like, but it's kind of tough to make, so I might go home and figure that one out after I go work out today. I don't have to worry about it. I did clean yesterday. I'm going to clean today. Make sure the wife's happy.
What a good hub.
Happy life, happy wife. You'll never hear John Spears sit here and say that. So as long as I'm in the seat, I can say that. But just a lot of basketball. We'll cover just maybe a little NBA and some tidbits here in a little bit. John, Scoot, your team. You're a big Arizona guy.
Oh, yeah.
Aren't you?
Love Arizona.
Coa Pete last night, 24 points, 10 rebounds. They beat Arizona State 89-82. If you had to pick one team to win it all right now, and they said, you're getting 10-1, you get any team, who you taking? You taking Arizona? Iowa State, Michigan, UConn, Purdue, Duke, Houston, Vandy, Gonzaga,
I would still
Nebraska.
Probably roll with Michigan.
I think I would too. But I thought you might go with Arizona.
I like Arizona. And I hate – the one thing with Arizona, I hate how you get so much love for Boozer at Duke, and nobody's talking about Coa Pete. Everybody's talking about Boozer as this runaway player of the year, runaway freshman of the year. Coa Pete, people. He's putting up numbers just as good as Cameron Boozer.
And don't you think they play a lot alike? I mean,
They do,
that's
yeah.
a great
They
matchup,
do.
those two playing against each other. And that would be fun. Just they were playing heads up the whole time to see how it worked out. But, yeah, Cold Pete doesn't get seen by the people around here.
Oh, that's because they play so late.
And all you hear about is, you know, going from Cooper Flag to Boozer. I mean, Cam Boozer's really good.
No doubt.
Ain't no doubt about that. But I think sometimes you just get tired of seeing Carlos with his numbers on his sweatshirt and everything behind the bench. But
Perfectly trimmed beard.
yeah, that beard drives me nuts. It looks like somebody took a chainsaw or something and cut that sucker across, or was cutting the bushes. All right, well, we'll go ahead and take our second break here. You're listening to Burke on Ball, not Spears on Sports, on the Big X. Hey, you're not with Spears on Sports. Spears on Sports is in Nashville. You're with Scooter and Tony here today on Thursday, January the 15th. And, Scoot, it's time to shut down, close the M&M Carnage hotline.
Shut it down.
There we go, man. Just excited to hear shut it down. I love that. Any texts, Scoot? Have you checked to see if we have any texts?
We do. Yep. Patrick Murphy texts in, says, hello, Scoots and Tony. That was the second straight buzzer beater I have seen. I covered Floyd Central versus Jennings County girls basketball with a buzzer-beating three-pointer for the team I cover, which is Floyd Central. In that game, all four quarters finished roughly in a buzzer beater or a last-second shot.
Well, you don't see that very often.
That's crazy.
Yeah. Just some tidbits going to about any other ones, Scoot? Just Patrick?
Patrick telling us about the buzzer beaters, but we covered it.
All right.
So we'll skip.
You know what? I will say that, Las Vegas last night beat the L.A. Kings in overtime, so I know we got Golden Knight and King listeners. And
see what my Lightning have been doing?
No.
At last look, they had won 12 straight.
My Oilers, they lose every game in overtime. So they were in Nashville Tuesday, which they could have played on a Thursday in Nashville, the Oilers and the Predators, and I would have went with John to Nashville if that would have happened and hit our guy up and put us in the box a couple years ago.
Mm-hmm.
But, of course, they played Tuesday. And it would have been hard to go in there to a box and pull for the other team. So we wouldn't have done that. But some tidbits, some things to talk about here. Ranger Suarez, I was talking to Jim out there, 30-year-old star pitcher, in my opinion. I think he's really good. Goes 5 years, $130 million to Boston to be on that staff with Garrett Crochet.
That is a gnarly 1-2.
Yeah, he had a 3.20 ERA last year for the Phillies, and that's a big loss for the Phillies, man, to not be able to re-sign Ranger Suarez. So, Jim, big Red Sox fan across the hall. I talked to him. He's excited about Ranger Suarez.
Yep.
Golf starts today.
What?
Sony Open starts today, January 15th. I didn't even realize it until I looked it up this morning.
Who's playing? Anybody big playing in it?
Really didn't do my homework. I just saw where they were firing it up, and because what made me think of it was the Brooks Koepka thing, and I was reading what Wyndham Clark said, and this I thought was very interesting. He goes, I don't know how to accept him. I like him. He's a friend, but you go away for a year and a half and take the money and then get to come back. I think that's going to be the sedative for the way a lot of guys feel. And Wyndham Clark came out and said it in that locker room, and because a lot of those guys are friends with all those guys from Liv and Koepka. So, bad precedent or good precedent, Scoot? Let them come back.
I would say good, because when you think back to when the PGA Tour was really rocking and rolling, it was when you had the best of the best in the world on the tour. So if they wanted to let, not that I think John Rahm is anywhere what he used to be, but if they wanted to let him and like a DeChambeau back in, DeChambeau 1,000% will be back on the PGA Tour at some point.
Yeah, because he's a draw, too.
Exactly.
And, when his contract goes out with Liv, will they be able to sign these guys back? It's really helped the young golfers coming up, with those guys moving over to Liv to get their opportunity. But it has watered down the PGA Tour. And
who was the guy last year that just won tournament after tournament? Like Ben Griffin? Is that who it was?
It was Ben Griffin.
Ben Griffin was electric because there's just not the competition there typically has been on the PGA.
Right. And, sometimes you get an opportunity and your confidence comes about. And Ben Griffin's a guy who quit golf 3 or 4 years ago. He was just kind of mentally was messed up and ended up coming back and making a lot of money last year. Staying with the tidbits, just off, and Cooper Flagg last night sprained his ankle in the game against the Nuggets. Came back in the game second quarter and then did not play after halftime. Dallas is hurt all the time. Cooper Flagg, Anthony Davis, all those guys.
Is AD going to get traded?
I think so. Kyrie's been out the whole year. I don't know if I'd want Anthony Davis.
I would.
I mean, there's just too much baggage, being hurt all the time.
Yep.
I mean, some guys are unlucky, some guys are fragile. And I think he's fragile. You got to remember, he was 6 feet tall in high school and grew to be 6'10" before he graduated. And that's one of the reasons he had the skills he had, because he didn't hit the scene to his senior year because he grew so much. And maybe his body just is fragile from all that growing over all those years. But yeah, that's a big loss for Dallas, who's not going anywhere anyway. Sonny Styles, linebacker for Ohio State, 3-year starter, declares for the NFL draft. 5 Ohio State players have declared for the draft. They're all in the top 20 on Mel Kiper's board. And
love it. Get them out of here.
Yeah, I know you would like that. Caleb Downs, the safety, is going to be a really high pick. I listened when they were getting ready to play, and when Nick Saban points you out and does all the stuff and talks about how good you are, you're usually pretty good, especially as a defensive back, because that was his specialty. So Ohio State draining the pool, but you know it's going to fill back up. One thing I wanted to ask you, Scooter, IU spread keeps going up. Were you?
Not at all.
I knew that.
Not at all. I low-key hate how confident I am, because normally, more times than not, that comes back to bite you. But I was telling you off air before we started today, I don't see a world where Indiana doesn't just kick the hell out of Miami. I really don't.
Yeah, but we were talking, and I said it's kind of the kind of team Indiana's played against, a good defensive team that can score, but is not a high-powered offense.
Yeah.
You know, we were talking about Carson Beck. Neither one of us think Carson Beck's, going to play that well. If you made a great point, they're going to try to run the football with Fletcher. You know that. They're going to try to control the clock.
Good luck.
But you were talking about you don't run the ball against IU.
Nope. So, you sure don't.
And the only thing that scares me about IU, I put my money where my mouth is on IU, is Heisman Dosa's been so good. Can he be that good again?
Yes, because of his prep. He puts in the time before the game where he goes into games absolutely locked in and knows what he has to do, executes perfectly. Like we talked about it yesterday, he makes very few mistakes. If there's one guy on this team I'm not worried about, it'd be him.
Yeah, I mean, his accuracy all year long, plus the last game against Oregon, was incredible. I mean, there was times Oregon had good coverage.
Yeah. And
he just put the ball, the only place the guy could catch it with IU receivers, and give them credit. Surratt, Becker, the 37, my boy, the tight end. I love him. Yeah, I knew you'd have to help me there. But, man, they've been so good. That's the only thing that scares me. They've been so good. I want you to get your national championship. It would be, I wouldn't say a long time coming, never coming, would have been the other word there. But, yeah.
It's good.
So we'll see what happens. We can talk more about it tomorrow and Monday. I just can't imagine you Monday, all day Monday.
Oh.
It's just going to be a long day trying to get where you.
Longest day ever.
Yeah. We were fortunate enough, John and I and my brother-in-law, Steve, when we went down to New Orleans to go to the Final Four and watch Kentucky win the national championship. And I just remember my dad, a huge Kentucky fan, and this is kind of, I know how fans feel when it's been a long time, is my dad was a huge Kentucky fan, and he called me right after the game and goes, "Are you drunk?" I said, "No, they don't sell it here." I said, "But we're just having a ball because you don't get an opportunity in life a lot of times to do it." And we wanted my dad to go on the trip with us, and he felt uncomfortable going with us. He should have gone. And you think of those things, family, when this comes. You see the Cubs back when the Cubs won it. It was more about people's parents that have passed or their parents that were older that lived it all their life, and now you're getting the opportunity as an IU fan, and I hope it really works out for you, and Miami can suck it anyway, right?
That's right.
So
come on.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting Monday night, man. So let's do some birthdays. Birthdays stink again today.
You're hosting, so that makes sense.
Man, John couldn't get anybody the other day. I struggle just trying to get anybody. Celebrities.
That's okay, because next Friday we have a 5.
All right.
No.
Regina King, an actress, 54 years old. That shows you when that's my first one, Regina King, what I've got to work with here. If you don't have to rate her, you can look it up. I don't care.
2.5.
2.5. All right.
Yeah.
69 years old today, Mario Van Peebles, actor. I am struggling if I start with Regina King and Mario Van Peebles. 44 years old, one of the best rappers, singer of all time. Pitbull. What Pitbull has done is amazing to me, that he makes all this money. His stadium's named after him down there, whatever one, Florida International or Florida, I think it's International. And he makes all this money by just being able to talk real fast.
Mm-hmm.
Crazy, isn't it? And every time he's on something, they're like, Pitbull's here.
And everybody gets hyped.
Oh, I don't get it, never will. 60 years old today, James Nesbitt. He's an actor. I've seen him in stuff. He's nobody really important. Charo, which is, I put Charo on here because I want you to give me a number back in the day. 75 years old. They say she's an actress and musician.
Who?
I don't think she's here. Charo, Charo.
Charo.
Older guys all know who Charo is. This is going to be interesting.
Oh, my gosh.
I want to hear this.
I mean, she looks like a cartoon character. But if I
she
go,
shook it all the time, Scooter.
If I go
she shook all her
way
stuff
back,
all the time.
if I go way back, we'll go 3.
I knew you'd look on there and go, huh?
Strange looking woman.
Yeah. Sports figures. 47 years old today, Drew Brees. You know, it's surprising that Drew Brees is this high on all the passing list and touchdown lists, because you just don't think of Drew Brees when you talk top 5 guys on the charts. 47 years old. He did some NFL games this year when our boy Sanchez beat the guy up in Indianapolis. Drew Brees came in and did a few games on the NFL.
Speaking of doing games, I can't believe that I forgot this until this very moment, and I have not voiced this on radio today. Rodney Terry sucks. He is horrible.
Ole Miss coach?
No, Texas.
Oh, Texas. That's right. I was thinking he was the Ole Miss guy.
God, he was bad.
He kept saying the same thing. He kept saying how Kentucky's, I love the way they're pressing, they're running this, and it's not easy. You know that when you first start. You don't want to say too much. You don't want to sound stupid. The best thing you can do as a guy on the radio or on TV, and you know this when you first start out, is go back and watch it or listen to it and critique yourself. I was very fortunate, even though I still stink, that my wife would listen and go, hey, there's certain things that you're saying or something that you don't need. I go, thanks.
That's helpful.
I don't take it as, offensive. It's always helpful. So, yeah, Rodney Terry was not real great last night. 46 years old, Matt Holliday, baseball player.
His son's pretty good.
His son's pretty good for the Orioles. 51 years old today, tennis player Mary Pierce. You can give me a number on Mary Pierce if you want to.
Mary Pierce. Never heard of her.
I said I'm struggling.
We'll go. That's evidence right there. We'll go 3 again.
Okay, 27 years old today, soccer player Chloe Kelly. See if Chloe does any better for us.
Chloe Kelly is a 2.5.
2.5. So I tried hard. I couldn't come up with anything else, and I went through them all, man, last night. I was sitting there at 12 o'clock last night.
It's the thought that counts, don't
73 years old today, Randy White, Hall of Famer, 1977 Super Bowl MVP on defense, which doesn't happen very often. So had some NBA stuff, had a little college stuff, Scoot, but I always appreciate you, man. We'll be able to go over a lot of this stuff tomorrow when John comes back in from Nashville, Tennessee. You were listening to Spears Not on Sports, Burke on Ballin with Scooter and Tony. Have a great day.
See you.